from Anto this year and a couple other guys who are with us right now as well. Quarterback Preston Stone, running back Joe Himon. Fellas, I'm going to start with you two because you were both there last year. And, 2 years ago, you guys had a really good year. I think surprised a lot of people. Last year, not quite as good. So how do you get back to being where it was a couple of years ago?
To be honest, it starts in the offseason. We were trying to hit it really hard this offseason. Obviously, we didn't perform the best that we wanted to during the 2024 season, but we just came back to the table, and Coach Braun just reminded us that we just need to grind, build each other's relationships up, and build each other's trust, and I think through our preparation, we'll be fine.
Anto?
Yeah, just to echo what Joe said, it's really the mindset. Guys made a decision this offseason. They made a decision that after last year's season that we're not going to feel like that anymore. And we've taken upon ourselves to make sure that everybody, old guy, new guy, vet, rookie, that they're all on the same page and we're all pushing towards that goal of winning this year.
You guys mentioned Coach Braun. It's been interesting to kind of see his evolution. This is year 3 now for him as the head coach. How do you feel like he's put his stamp on the program?
Honestly, I think this is his 3rd year going in. I think he's getting just more comfortable in his role of being a head coach, and I think that he just wants to be more assertive, more dominant, and more confident just with his approach to everything.
And so,
yeah, with these years under Coach Braun's belt now, he has the vision, and he's instilled that in us through every team meeting, through every workout he's been at, that simply what happened last year can't happen again. He's been really involved with the offseason process, and he's just been hyping the guys up and making sure we're all in the mental space to go out and perform.
Obviously, part of getting better this year is getting better on offense, and Preston, I think you're a big part of that equation coming in from SMU. What made Northwestern attractive to you in the portal?
Yes, sir. Yeah, as soon as I stepped on campus in Evanston, I knew it was a special place, led by a special head coach and Coach Braun. On my visit, I got to spend time with some of the leaders from the team from the previous year, and you could tell that the player leadership was off the charts here at Northwestern. And I knew that this program was building something special and something that I had to be a part of.
It's pretty interesting to think about your position that you're in because quarterback is such a leadership position. When you talk about leadership, and just by the very nature of the position, you have to be a leader. What's the balancing act when you're someone who's coming into a program where there are lots of established players like these guys and many of the others who you met with in that leadership group when you came to visit? What's the balancing act between deferring to them, but being the leader you need to be as a quarterback?
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to be myself as much as I can. Once I showed up in January, I wanted to show my work ethic as much as I can on the field and build relationships as much as I can off the field. It's a huge testament to guys like Joe and Anto and other leaders who have been on the team for welcoming me in, and some of the other transfers that we have on the team this year. To where there's really no delineation between a freshman, a transfer, someone who's been here for 5 years. We're one squad right now.
One of the things that I think is interesting, you look through a lot of these preseason lists and who are the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten. You look at Preston's numbers from 2 years ago at SMU. Off the charts, at top 15 in the nation in passing efficiency. I know you had an injury last year that ended up essentially costing you that starting job, but it's weird to me that more people aren't talking about him. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to talk about him. What makes Preston special a quarterback?
I think he's a great player. On and off the field, I think he's a great person. Obviously, he has a ton of experience coming from SMU, and I think during that 2023 season, he put up the numbers and showed why he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and I think that'll really show this year.
Yeah, Preston, he's just a gamer. I got that sense from the first moment he stepped on campus. One of the things that he said that really stuck out to me is that these workouts, I feel I should be doing every workout with y'all. If y'all squatting, I should be squatting. If I'm benching, then y'all should be benching, and vice versa. It's just he wants to be a part of the team. He feels like everything that he wants to be embodied in that Northwestern culture. So he just shows that he's got that grit, he's got that toughness, and then obviously from spring ball practices and some of his film, he shows that he can sling the ball. So that's always going to help.
Well, offense has been a challenge the last few years. Joe, you're certainly aware of that, and Preston, I'm sure you were made aware of it coming in. Give us a sense of where you think this offense could make some big jumps from where they were a season ago.
Joe, you want to speak on that?
I think we've been putting in a ton of work this offseason, Coach Lujan in the offense, and we've brought in some major key pieces to the portal, and also we have a lot of young guys that will play crucial roles during this season. And I think that once we, get established in the run game and do our thing there to open up the pass game, and then it'll be very cohesive.
Give me some insight into the wide receiver group you're going to be working with, Preston.
Yeah, we've got an unbelievable wide receiver room with a ton of depth. I'd say just with our offense as a whole, we have a very balanced attack and can hurt you in a lot of different ways. And Coach Lujan, gives me the tools to, run the offense and make checks at the line in a way that is very advantageous for the offense as a whole. And so, I think for defenses that are scheming against us, it's going to be very difficult to find out what you want to emphasize when you're playing against us, because we got guys like Joe who can play receiver, play running back. We got great tight ends, great receivers. It's gonna be tough for some defenses in the fall.
Anto, on the other side of the ball, defensively, had a solid year from you guys last year. I know it wasn't quite where you wanted to be, but a lot to build on that side of the ball, and you're a huge part of that equation. I mean, it's amazing some of the NFL draft buzz. I mean, The Athletic had you as a first-round pick heading into next year. How have you kind of compartmentalized all of that?
It's been great, but obviously I can't do anything that I do without the guys on the side of the ball with me. Thankfully, we're returning a lot of key players from last year, and like you said, we had a pretty solid season, but we always looking to do better. But the defensive line group is stout as always. Our linebacker group is coming in, and we have our DBs. So everybody's been working towards being the strongest, the most solid defense in the conference. So basically, without them, I can't do what I do. So we're all working as a unit. We're expecting some big things this year.
And it seems like the big challenge for you is how do you go from being a guy who is an explosive play, a sack artist, someone who comes off the edge on third down, to being an every down guy. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you haven't started a game yet at Northwestern. You're being talked about as a first-round pick. How do you evolve into that player? What are the biggest keys to becoming that guy?
Yeah, it's trusting my coaches, trusting my D-line coach and Coach Smith, trusting the strength staff, guys like Coach Spanos to get me where I need to be. I rely on Coach Smith to refine my technique on the first and second down so I can be an every down player. Coach Spanos has helped me get stronger in the weight room, get stronger out on the field, and put on some weight. I'm up 15 pounds. So it's just a lot of honing in on the coaching points and just being a listener, being a student, and just executing what's being asked of me.
Speaking of coaching, you guys have a new running backs coach, Aristotle Thompson. Tell me a bit about him. I know the Cal players absolutely loved him. What has he brought to that running back room with yourself, Cam Porter, who people are certainly very familiar with?
Man, Coach AT is a wonderful guy, man. Great person on and off the field. I think he's a true professional. Comes with a ton of experience, a ton of knowledge towards the game, and he's just been helping us understand the game holistically, like they do it in the pros. And honestly, he cares about us off the field too. So I feel like that helps just build our relationship with the guys, and he's been a wonderful addition.
What's it like kind of knowing that it's going to be a little bit of a running back by committee back there for you?
Honestly, it's great for us. I mean, we have a lot of key pieces in our running back room. Cam Porter, myself, Caleb Komolafe, and then some young guys that I'm sure will play a crucial role this upcoming fall. And I think it'll be very good to see, all of us put in good work on Saturdays.
You guys are playing on the lakefront for the second straight year before the new stadium opens. Preston, I know you didn't get a chance to play there, but for those who didn't get a chance to witness it, what makes that setting special?
Man, it's very special. Just playing out there on that lakefront and getting the crowd out there, getting involved, is very special. I mean, just seeing the lake on TV, and obviously when we're out there playing on the lake, it's a very special feeling.
Yeah, obviously it's an electric atmosphere, and what's really special about it to me is that it's in the heart of campus. So students are coming, and Wildcat Nation comes out and they support. They wear their purple and they're loud. They're giving their TNT chants. They're giving their Go Cats Go chants. It's one of the most electric venues out.
Yeah, it was really a neat setting. Got a chance to go out to the Duke game last year and kind of blew me away. The new stadium obviously is going to be amazing, the most expensive college football stadium ever built, and that'll be a year from now. Preston, as the new guy, how do you define success for this team this year?
I think we have a championship mindset in everything we do. That starts in the weight room, starts in practice, and I think going into camp this next week, it's going to be critical to define our culture as a team that finishes. I feel good about where we're at right now, and going into camp and going into our first few games. What I think is Northwestern football is going to be our ability to compete and fight in those championship rounds once we get in November.
Well, looking forward to seeing it. Again, opening up on the road against Tulane in what should be a really intriguing game. We'll see you guys at camp coming up here in a few weeks. Thanks for your time, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
so much for having us.
We have the head coach of the Wildcats here with us now in David Braun. And Coach, really appreciate your time as always. Pretty interesting to think about your evolution as a head coach, right? You were really thrown into the fire a couple of years ago, so I would kind of make the argument the last year was your first full year of putting your stamp on the program and saying this is what David Braun's Northwestern team is going to look like. So help us understand kind of how you evolved and where you think you are in terms of establishing the program.
Yeah, it's a long process, right? You can't snap your fingers and do it overnight, but I'm excited about the growth that we're having. Ultimately, a frustrating 4-8 season provides an opportunity for us to evaluate everything, be really honest with ourselves, and timing's a critical thing. I mean, the reality is college football has been flipped on its head these last couple of years in terms of the landscape that we're navigating. This December and January provide an opportunity for us to evaluate everything, how we communicate, how we're organized as a program, how we're going to prioritize, who we scout, how we recruit, how we utilize the transfer portal, with the house settlement, how we're going to leverage this revenue share model and do it the Northwestern way. I'm really excited about where we're at, Dave. This team today compared to where we were at 12 months ago, dramatically different. And this team's humble, hungry. We got a chip on our shoulder. We're excited for things to get rolling next Wednesday.
And the portal, a huge part of that. And as maybe people who follow this know, Northwestern didn't utilize the portal all that much in previous years, certainly utilized it more this year. That includes Preston Stone, who we just talked to. And I ran into you yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about this. You announced today that Jack Lausch is not going to be back. He's going to pursue baseball full-time after starting 10 games for you a season ago. I don't think there was any doubt that Preston was going to be the guy, but that certainly makes it clear. But we were talking yesterday, I can't believe there's not more buzz about him. I mean, you watch him from 2 years ago. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yep.
Give people a sense of what you got in Preston Stone.
I've mentioned this earlier today, but in our preparation for Duke in 2024, we watched a bunch of 2023 SMU tape because Duke's offensive coordinator had come from SMU. The second that Preston went in the transfer portal as a program, the quarterback from SMU, we got to go get that guy. The way that he is integrated in the team, built relationships, learned the offense, there's no one else in the country that I'd rather have as our starting quarterback. And again, yes, deep ball accuracy, processing, but the way that he has built relationships with our team and the way that our team gravitates towards him, I'm really excited about the things that this offense is going to be able to do this fall.
So, Coach, continue with Preston. Okay, so when you recruited him, did you tell him you're going to be our starter? And if you did, do you tell the rest of the team that he is going to be our starter? There's not going to be a quarterback competition?
Ultimately, if we're going to say one of our core values is competition, you got to be honest with guys in terms of ultimately you're going to have to earn this. Competition and earned opportunity. You're honest with them. Preston, we have you here for a reason. We believe in you. We need to play better at the quarterback position next fall. And what he did throughout the offseason and what he put on display throughout spring, it was abundantly clear that he was our starting quarterback and going to position us to be at our best in the fall.
So did you tell the team that in the meeting that Preston was the starting quarterback at the end of spring? Or
we shared with Preston post-spring in the quarterback room. There hasn't been a formal announcement to our team, but I'm sure our entire team knows now.
How about with Coach Lujan being back this year too? I mean, what's their relationship like, and what's his opinion of Preston and what he can open up for the offense?
Yeah, no, great relationship, and been fun to see them work together. It's been fun to see both of them kind of tutor some of the young quarterbacks in the room. It's been a good exercise for Zach too, of really identifying Preston's strengths and the things that he's really comfortable with. It's also been good for Zach's offense to push Preston out of his comfort zone a little bit in terms of things that look a little bit different than the way that they were operating at SMU. The thing I enjoy is just the dialogue between the two. When you're talking to Preston Stone, you're talking to a coach on the field, and I know that's something that Zach, really enjoys.
Your defensive background is basically how you came through coaching. But the offense controls the game. The play caller controls the game. In your third year going in, how involved are you in the offensive game plan, and how involved are you in the play calling during the game?
Yeah. Certainly involved in terms of decision-making going forward on fourth down. Very involved, high level strategically, how we're approaching, how we're evaluating, our team and the things that they do well. And ultimately, the thing that we need to do a great job of is find ways in all three phases of the game, but specifically on offense, is differentiating ourselves. Keeping our opponent soft balance. And ultimately, with the development of the quarterback room, the development of that offensive line room, Cam Porter, Joe Himon, Caleb Almalafe in the running back room, the wide receiver room, very unproven, but really excited about that room. Feel like we're positioned for Zach to be in a position where he can really catch his stride as a play caller. There's so much more comfortability in the offense with our team. I'm involved with that. But what I will tell you is I trusted and hired Zach Lujan to call our offense.
Sure.
And, I've seen it go the wrong way when head coaches feel like they got to be involved in everything, and they also ultimately become disruptive on. Zach and I have talked a lot about what we need to do, and really excited about what I saw throughout the progression of spring ball. Excited for this fall.
We called your game. Our crew called your game against Wisconsin last year, and there had been some injuries in the trenches. And you just flat out told us, you said, listen, if we want to get where we want to be, winning games and competing, the offensive line has to come along. Yep. And we heard you at your presser up there compliment that group. Just curious, what's the identity of that group, and what's the ceiling for them this year?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately there is competitive depth in that room for the first time since I've been at Northwestern. There's some really good football players that don't know if they're going to be starting for us in the fall or not, and we need to do a great job of establishing our wide zone principles, utilizing the things that come off of that, and from a mentality standpoint, every single person on our team, when it's 4th and 1, doesn't matter where we're out on the field, should be demanding that we're going for it, trusting that behind that offense line we can pick up that 1 yard. And it's been a neat experience for that offensive line. The work of Bill O'Boyle and Ryan Olson. We've gone to more of an NFL model where it's truly an offensive line coach and Bill O'Boyle, and Ryan Olson, our run game specialist, assistant O-line coach. Like, we talk about development, but we're investing in that development. Bill's ability to be more frequently around our players, even in spring recruiting, while Ryan was out on the road, has started to pay off.
Coach, we're starting to see a lot of renderings of the new Ryan Field. We're a year away, essentially, from that stadium opening up for you guys. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I mentioned with the players, the most expensive college football stadium ever built, which is somewhat staggering. But what will that do? What does the anticipation of that do for your program?
It's really exciting. And when you have an opportunity with, class of 2026 recruits to step into that venue and be down at field level and see it with your own eyes, the design, the development, the attention to detail that's gone into this project, it's amazing. It will be the best venue in football.
So that being said, second year on the lakefront, which is a much more intimate setting.
Yeah.
You and your wife stepped up last year. I mean, you guys were even contributors to, hey, let's get us on the lakefront. This could be special. This could be different. It's a great solution to this 2-year problem. What did that more intimate environment do for you guys, and what do you hope it can do this year?
It didn't produce enough wins, Dave. We're excited to create a home field advantage and win a lot of games on the lakefront this year. But it did provide one of the most unique experiences in all of college football. It did allow for our fan base to truly stay completely engaged with our program, and ultimately, and in my opinion, most importantly, for our players and our students at Northwestern being right on campus. It was the right move and the perfect bridge to the new Ryan Field.
This year goes well for the Cats if what happens?
You know what? That's a great question. What I will tell you is, in terms of the way that we evaluate how we're operating as a program, we're asking ourselves, individually and collectively, have we operated in a way today that is reflective of winning a Big Ten championship? And if we can answer yes to that as we go throughout the season, that's a successful season. Does that mean 8 wins in a bowl championship, 9 wins in a potential college football playoff bid? Time will tell. But we're not going to put a ceiling on this team.
Coach, you're one of 2 private schools in the Big Ten Conference. With all the new legislation, the profit sharing, the NIL, has it been a positive for a school like Northwestern?
Absolutely. I will be as bold to say I have so much reverence and appreciation for what this program has achieved over the years, both on and off the field. But timing, and I'm not saying turning it around in 12 months and snapping fingers to make it happen, but going into the future, long-term, building a model of sustainability on a rock-solid foundation, we can state that why can't we do it better than we've ever done it before under this new
Wow, that's great.
David Braun, head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck this year, and we'll see you at camp coming up here in a few weeks.
Thanks, Dave.